Now, it is Sameer Wankhede who has gone after Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan, and this is in regard to his show Bad of Bollywood. Now, it is the ex-NCB officer filing a case in the Delhi High Court against the company, that is Red Chillies Entertainment, as well as Shah Rukh Khan, for the portrayal of the anti-drug body charge. Now, this is Aryan series that has somehow made fun of the person in charge of claiming 2 crores in damages. There is Wankhede. So Wankhede, Sameer Wankhede, do remember, who was part of the NCB and has now gone after Aryan Khan all over again because of the portrayal of someone similar in in nature, similar portrayal of him perhaps is what he has. On those grounds, he has gone ahead and made that case. He has filed that case. He's gone after Aryan Khan, the son of Shah Rukh Khan, because of the show that was, that just dropped on Netflix recently, Bad of Bollywood, and the portrayal of the person in charge. This is the fun that was made of Wankhede, with Wankhede there claiming 2 crore damages in the series called Bad of Bollywood that was made by Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan. So this is, of course, Sameer Wankhede there going after the son of Shah Rukh Khan. Do remember there was a similar case against Aryan Khan, and now it is Sameer Wankhede again going after Aryan Khan, accusing Aryan Khan of portraying him in bad light, of making fun of him. This is, of course, dating back to the case in which Aryan Khan was implicated at first. Radhika joining us in order to get us more on this. Radhika, take us through, of course, Sameer Wankhede there moving the Delhi High Court, seeking a permanent injunction as far as the Netflix show is concerned.
That's right. Sameer Wankhede has moved Delhi High Court. Yes, he has sought a permanent injunction against film Bad of Bollywood. In fact, this is a film directed by Aryan Khan, who was in fact arrested earlier by Sameer Wankhede himself in that drug case. And later, of course, the court had said that there was no evidence against Aryan Khan and therefore had acquitted him of all the charges. In fact, had discharged him from the case itself. Now, Sameer Wankhede in the petition has alleged that a scene in the show has mocked him. In fact, there is a particular sequence that has a loud officer claiming to be part of a war against drugs. In fact, he storms into a Bollywood party, ranting about the industry, and then making an arrest of a celebrity there. Something similar to what had happened in real life.
Well, Radhika, it was also, from what they're saying is, basically he looked like him, whether it was his haircut, whether it was the clothes that he was wearing, all of that, he's gone on to, claim that was basically to make fun of him in the show, in the first very episode.
Yes, as I was mentioning, there is a scene in that particular film, or rather the series, where they have portrayed an officer who was part of war against drugs, and he was similar to Sameer Wankhede. It looked like, although there was no direct mention of Sameer Wankhede in the series, several in social media are convinced that the role is no mere coincidence, and that it was trying to portray Sameer Wankhede himself, which obviously did not go down well with the IRS officer, which is why he has now moved an injunction against the series itself. Now, we'll really have to see. We believe that the matter has been mentioned before the High Court, whether the scene will be taken off and whether there will be any sort of hearing in the days to come. That remains to be known. Now he
right, Radhika, looking at social media at the moment, looking at reactions coming about, one user there saying, social media user saying that it is Sameer Wankhede who's made a cameo in the show, and talking about that's just too good. And of course, those are some of the reactions coming about. And of course, drawing parallels to Sameer Wankhede is not just Sameer Wankhede himself, but also social media users who have taken to social media sites in order to say that there was a cameo of Sameer Wankhede on the show of Aryan Khan. And now this is, of course, the grounds on which he is, making that case is that the person appears to look like him, is dressed like him, has a similar haircut, and that is why he is saying that it is Aryan Khan who has tried to mock him in that show. And this is, of course, after, Sameer Wankhede made that case. He's the same officer who arrested Aryan Khan in that infamous drug case investigation that took place 4 years ago in 2021. So in his plea, Sameer has alleged that one particular scene in the show mocks him. The matter was mentioned before the High Court, the Delhi High Court. It remains unknown which scene it was, but from what he's gone on to say is that the person looks like him, is dressed like him. Even the haircut is very, very similar. And the sequence featuring a loud officer claiming to be part of a war against drugs and the NCG storming into that Bollywood party while ranting about the industry being riddled with the problem of substance abuse. It's his white shirt, his dark pants, along with his haircut and physical features remarkably matching those of Sameer Wankhede. While the makers of the show have not confirmed that the character is based on the ex-NCB officer, but it's social media users who are convinced that the role is no mere coincidence. Radhika back with us. Radhika, of course, social media users are drawing that parallel perhaps before even Sameer Wankhede did, saying that he's made a cameo in the show.
Absolutely. It is what it looks like because although there was no direct mention of Sameer Wankhede in the show, several on social media convinced that the role is no mere coincidence and it resembles that of Sameer Wankhede, be it his haircut, physical features, and the outfit that he wore, and the way he spoke, and the fact that he in fact went behind some of the Bollywood celebrities and made allegations of drug use as well. So all of them had similarities with what Sameer Wankhede had done in 2021. We know for a fact that Aryan Khan was detained and he spent approximately 25 days in prison. Multiple pleas of his were rejected as well. And finally, Aryan Khan was exonerated of all charges by the Narcotics Control Bureau. So it was Sameer Wankhede who was at the helm of those.
Right, Radhika, let's discuss the scene. I mean, it hasn't been specified, but there was a scene in the show in which, this man who is out to get people who are consuming drugs, but, the minute he realizes that this person has nothing to do with Bollywood, has literally no interest in the person and starts to go about, looking at others who are in the vicinity and picks up somebody who's not even involved in the consumption of drugs, but because he happens to be from Bollywood and therefore that person is picked up. So a clear parallel that's being drawn that Aryan Khan perhaps happened to be at that party, but wasn't involved in the case or in the situation and therefore was picked up because of his links to Bollywood because he is a star son, the son of the superstar Shah Rukh Khan. Radhika.
That's right. The scene features an officer claiming to be part of war against drugs and NCG. That's what the film talks about, storming into a Bollywood party while ranting about the industry being riddled with problems of substance abuse. And Sameer Wankhede, in several interviews in the past, before this entire controversy started and the arrest of Aryan Khan happened, he had spoken about how, he's there to sort of make sure that it is a drug-free society when he was helming NCB in Western region. In fact, his shirt and his outfit along with his haircut, physical features all match those of Sameer Wankhede. The makers of the show, however, have not confirmed that the character is based on him, but, social media users certainly convinced that this role cannot be coincidence and it is Sameer Wankhede that Aryan Khan had in fact portrayed in that particular scene. Of course, there is no direct mention, but Sameer Wankhede not taking this lightly.
Let's talk about the case. Let's talk about the case. He was the one who picked up Aryan Khan and he made that case against Aryan Khan. They were all at this, party, this yacht party, where apparently drugs were being served. But of course, the hint is that just because he belongs to Bollywood through his father doesn't mean that, you catch the person that, perhaps takes you into the limelight, puts you into the spotlight. And that is the case that was basically being made here. And of course, Aryan Khan there having to spend 25 nights in jail. He was granted bail finally and all charges were dropped against him, with Wankhede, who was removed from the case and was also accused of blackmail, Radhika.
That's it. There were multiple allegations about Sameer Wankhede post that, of course, he was transferred, he was shunted out and so on. But as far as this entire case of Aryan Khan is concerned, yes, he was detained, arrested. He spent 25 days in prison. He had at the time applied for bail that were rejected. And finally, he was exonerated by the Narcotics Control Bureau of all charges, after which there were multiple allegations of extortion, threats, blackmail. As far as Sameer Wankhede is concerned, he has, of course, refused and refuted all these charges. But, obviously there were a lot of talks about how Sameer Wankhede had arrested. He had not followed rules and protocols as far as arrest of Aryan Khan or several others are concerned. Multiple people are out on bail in connection to that case. Multiple people were discharged or rather exonerated from that particular case as well. That includes Aryan Khan too. So yes, in his directorial debut, Aryan Khan perhaps making an indirect mention of Sameer Wankhede without really directly stating that he was referring to Sameer Wankhede, and now Wankhede moving Delhi High Court seeking injunction against the release of this series.
Right,
Remains
Radhika,
to be seen.
I'm afraid we need to slip into a short break. We'll be back with you with the very latest on the other side of this really short break.